That's no moon. It's a space station.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. We're just going to jump right in today. We only have so much time with our returning guest, Jean-Charles Moyen, who joined us for episode 185. And if you haven't heard his original testimony, he tells it there. And he's done a few films since we've recorded last, also some documentaries. And he is, for those who don't know, he's basically a secret space program whistleblower, the French-American secret space program. And he can tell us a little bit more about that. But why we're here today is because he has uncovered some cassette tapes from that he recorded in, I think, in 1988 or 89, basically just logging your own experiences for your own purposes. And you, I guess, dug them out of a box. And now we're here today to talk about this because the fact that you've recorded this in 1988 says that, you know, you may be one of the first that was actually talking about this. And we have documentation of it. Now, we know there's guys in the military like John Lear and other people that were talking about it. But as far as the secret space program itself goes, that we don't have much of that until the 2000s, right? So 1988 is pretty profound. So welcome back to the show. Let's just dive in.
Thank you very much to receive me again. I'm very happy to be here today.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, great to have you back. Yeah.
So tell us the story. How did you even come across these tapes? And what has this done? What does this mean to you? I know you mentioned this kind of like the holy grail for you as far as having evidence that you've been talking about this stuff and you know that you're not actually copycatting or stealing other people's information, which you've been accused of.
Yes, exactly, my friend. First of all, I was in my office and cleaning my office, not my desk. People say, your desk. No, my office room in the basement. In the basement, I found a box with a lot of things inside. And I remember I moved in a different house and different apartments. And I was a problem with water, and the water destroys some memories. So I was very happy to find this bag. And inside this bag, there was two tapes. The first tape was John Charles' memory. And at this moment, I don't remember what I record in this tape. And the second tape is my public broadcast in 1992 in a big radio station in France. And this station received a great ufologist and writer called Jimmy Gueux. It was amazing for me to explain what I live since my childhood until my adult age. And each time I spoke in the radio, I was very be careful what I say, because at this moment it was very dangerous for me to talk. But I say, my name is Jean Charles, and I'm here to explain my life. And I spoke about my treatment about Men in Black in 1992, imagine. And I explain what I live in my my military services when I was in a French Air Force base. And I explained what I saw with my friend inside, some very special things. You know, at this moment, I explained something very strange happened in this base. And I explained what I live with my friend in a forest near Saint-Germain-en-Laye. It's a forest in France, you know. And in this forest, I explained I saw something very bright in a deep forest, and I felt something very tingling, and my nose bleed, and we left of this forest, and we are intercepted by two riders. Police riders, I guess it's the right name, riders. Yes.
Yeah.
And yes.
Yeah, cyclists, they were on bike.
Yes.
Yeah.
He looked like a police officer, but you know, he was dressed in black with a big Google glasses, very futuristic for this time. And it was a one-piece yellow Google. And they never talk each other. They just look at him, and they ask us our ID, and they record like this. No word, no sound, like telepathic. It was very weird that these guys appears in the middle of nowhere at these moments when we were in this forest, And he tell me with the vocal like a robotic, It was special. It was not human voice, but maybe I can imagine this. But this is the fact: is the voice don't look like human voice, the same tone, And each time he look his colleague, and after that, what do you do here? And we invent a story like we are astronomical guys and we look the sky and blah blah blah. And my friend tell to the police officer, to the writer, my mother have a treatment for a cancer, and she use for the treatment ozone, ozone, and the ozone can smell something very metallic, and the guys, the police, look the other guys and don't tell nothing, give us the paper ID, and they left. And they let us in the middle of the forest. Don't go to your car and blah blah blah. No, they disappear like a magic. And at this moment, we were at a few kilometers of the start point when we park a car. So we are very move in the forest far away, and each of us bleed noise at this moment. It's like the different blood pressure when you are a witness of something like a UFO flying over you. There is all witnesses say the blood temperature, the blood change, and you can bleed. Okay, so the next day on the radio or TV, I don't remember, I heard someone take a walk with his dog, have testimony there is something flying into the forest like a UFO. And so we don't imagine this, It was really observation of UFO in this forest by another person at the same time. But I discovered there is many weeks by my friend Kevin, he's an investigator. Imagine in this forest, there are military base inside. So imagine these guys was sent to intercept us because we are too close of something they don't want to show or discover. Okay? So in this broadcast, I explain my meeting with these guys, like Men in Black with the Google glasses, and what I live and my treatment by the Men in Black, And this tape is dating at 1992. But before that, at 1988 and 1989, I explain when I was young, I make a little journal, personal journal, daily, and I explain who I was before I came to the planet Earth.
So
that's weird.
Yeah. So I have some questions, and it's very fascinating. Yeah. So just to recap, you were in 1992. You called into a radio show, and you told this story that you and your friend had about seeing this light and having this feeling in the forest. And then these two cyclists who were probably officers or they were working for this underground base intercepted. They asked for your IDs. And then you also said that the area smelled like ozone, which reminded you of the chemotherapy treatment that your mother or your friend's mother was receiving at the time. That's how you knew what that smell was. So that alone is interesting that you have even that recorded. So the secret records behind you, the documentary that you just poured out, you can actually listen to that recording for anyone listening, where you call into the radio station. And it's very interesting because they do mention John Lear and a few other people, and he kind of the host knows what's going on. The guy knows, he understood the big picture on a much deeper level than most people do. So whenever you were sharing his story, he didn't question you because he wasn't coming from the skeptic standpoint. So I just wanted to recap all that. And then you also had this tape from 1988, 89 that you're getting ready to tell us about next.
Yes, exactly. And in this tape in 1998, I explain why me? Because people say, okay, why John Charles? Because my abilities since I was a child and my first abduction at 4, I explain to my parents what I live in space. But when I was 13, after my sunstroke accident, I was recruited in a secret space program, remember? But what I say in this tape, it was when I was young. And this program don't start at this moment. So what is this? It was before I came to Earth. And that's a point very important because I explain who I was, beings, before I came to the body of John Charles.
Yeah.
And I explained I was in a mission in space with another beings. I was married with a beings with a blue skin. And I explained I have a child with these beings. And I was a part of a conglomerate. And I rescue slave and save person and beings, exactly the same thing I do before when I was John Charles in Earth. So it was like like a déjà vu.
Right.
And my abilities was always inside of me when I was born, because when I was born, my mother called me Captain Tempest, because I was born during a very big lightning and storm over the room of the hospital, just over the room. And during this, I discovered, what I explained in my documentary, there is a gamma burst explode when a supernova explode in the universe. There is a spray of energy like sunlight, but when a supernova explode, it's like a 10 billion power of the sun energy. And in the Los Alamos observatory, they record at the same moment, the 7th July, the date when I was born, an abnormal in a universe burst of gamma brainwave. Exactly the same brainwave was recorded to my brainwave with a device with my dear friend Dan Winter in my documentary STARSEED REVELATION 2. So everything is linked, my friend. I say this, but we found this. And, it's like investigation. And everything corroborates.
Right.
And the next jump of gamma burst was recorded when I was abducted at 4 in 1973 to the computer in this Los Alamos. So twice is not a chance. So when I was in the body of this extraterrestrial called Luca.
Now this was before Earth.
Yes, before Earth. Wait, I have the green skin and the red eyes, no hair, and I was a part of a conglomerate, and I save and I rescue slavery from Draco reptilian and other beings, and I was very, very busy, but I was in a force, a space force, but extraterrestrial, and I work with a lot of beings, different beings. And it's very interesting that I have this memory at this moment because now, when I spoke about my secret service, this is the reason why I was recruited, because these people have a technology and advance, and they know who I was before.
Mm-hmm.
This is the explanation. Why me? I'm not pretentious. Okay, it's important to clarify. So people say, "Oh, why him? Why him?" This is the explanation. Why me? And fortunately, before I found this tape, I was working into my book. I'm not number one for all. I'm specialist for special effects and video editing, but not writer. I'm not a good writer. So I was stick on my page, and I don't know how to write a book, my friend. It's not my specialist. And I say to myself, I want to sing in a universe. It helped me because I don't know how can I write this. And at this moment, to change my mind, I decide to clean my room, my office. And I found this tape. And at this moment, I realized, oh my God, you want to sing? You have a sing. This is universe send me this message. This time is the great moment to disclose what you found. And I remember there is a many, many, many decades when I was with Jimmy Gueux. He tell me, he go to my room, he go to my apartment for a dinner, and he explained to me, okay, Jean-Charles, I read everything you say, and it's not a good moment for you to get out the light. It's not, stay in the dark right now. It's not the good moment.
This is the radio show host you're talking about?
Exactly.
Okay.
And he say, and after that, we believe we are a good friend. We were a good friend and very close friend. And I invite him to my house to a dinner, and I expose everything I say now, and I give him a copy of my life in a paper, in a file, and I say, I believe in you. Don't give this to another. No. Trust me, Jean-Charles, it's for me. But at this moment, I don't know. In the future, this file disappear. Now, 24 years later, he's dead. And this file disappear with all my information about me.
So you didn't have a copy of it. You gave him the original file.
Yes, I have a copy, but this copy was destroyed with a problem of water in my basement, in my old house in Canada. Fortunately, I have the tape, because in the tape, I was reading what I write in my paper for double security. I write, and sometimes I record my voice with my write,
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but Jimmy have a big file with photography and lot of things. And hang on, I give to him the little device of the Men in Black when they shoot me in my secret documentary, STARSEED Revelation 2, This device I give him to analyze with a friend in a laboratory. And when I asked to Jimmy, what did you find? He said, oh, nothing, just a crystal, a blue crystal inside with some technology, but it's not important. And I say, okay, not important, a crystal? Okay, can you give me my device? And I must contact the guys, and the guys lost the device, and the guys was fired of this job.
So can you explain how you obtained this from the Men in Black, and tell us a little bit more about what that targeting was? Because I know you were you were
yes
followed. Yeah.
Yes. When I was in 21 at this date, approximately, I was threatened by Men in Black when I was in the apartment of my parents. One day I get out and I was intercepted by Men in Black on the basement of underground subway, and they use against me a device, and in this device get out red light like a laser against me. The first time this weapon, energy weapon, ricochet to the ground, and I realized, oh my God, they shoot me. And the second time, they shoot me on the chest. I was projected and I fall on the ground, and I take my hand like this, and something happened in my hand. A bright light get out, and the guys disappear at this moment. But I was burned. My clothes was transperse, everything. But I was a force field around me, protect me, and I just want burn. My skin was burned at 1.5 degrees. It smelled a chicken burn. It was something very. And when I get out, I get up, I saw the little device on the ground, and I say, "Oh my God!" I take it and I keep it in a secret place. And my dad take a picture, fortunately, of this box. And when I met Jimmy, I explained to Jimmy what's happened to me, and I give in to Jimmy this little box. Right. And this little box, he say, I have a connection with different guys, and I can to examine your device. And the week pass and spend a time, and I say, okay, did you have a news? And he tell me the problem is the guys when analyze the box say, oh yeah, just a crystal, a blue crystal inside with a copper and some transistor and I don't know. But I say at this moment, give me back my device, because it's important proof,
Right.
And he said to me, no, not news about the guys, and the guy was fired of this job. And after that, he tell me he lost the box, and I was very, oh no, you're kidding me. And he say, I'm so sorry. And what can I do? Nothing. Right. And I say, now nobody believe me. And my dad, when I decide to make my second documentary, Starseed Revelation 2, say to me, son, me and your mother decide to speak in the light, and we are very proud of you. And I found a box. And I say, what? And he say, I found a box with a picture, photo, and the picture of the device. And I say, no, you have kept this? Yes. It was, if something happened, I have something evidence inside. And he sent me the picture. And this picture of a device is in my new documentary. Fortunately, my dad record, write, take a picture or filming when we can. So I'm very lucky about that.
Right.
Yeah, so, that's amazing.
Aaron, do you have any questions for him before we move on?
No, but I just want to say that this is all huge. This is I mean, this is massive proof, not just of your story, but of all of the secret space program information. This is all huge. So thank you so much for
I have another evidence, very big. The second times I was in the apartment of my parents. I was in the supermarket and I walk and I arrive in the front of the door of the, there is a phone. You can take a number and you open the door. It's like, in the front of building. I don't remember the name. Interphone, interphone.
Okay.
Okay. And I saw two guys, two men in black in another building. And I felt inside of me, oh shit, they follow me. I enter in the building and, there is an elevator with a number 1, 2, 3. And I decide to take the stairs because I don't want they know who I live, And I was in the 9th floor. And when I was in the 9th floor, the 8th floor door opened and there was not two men in black, but two beings, tall gray.
Mm.
And I was like this, imagine, tall gray in the stairs with a device, the same device. They use it against me. But at this moment, before the door opened in my back, I felt my hand was very, very hot. And I say, okay, it starts. My protection is engaged. And at this moment, when he push the button, the first ray ricochet to the metal bar of the stairs, like this. And I take my hand like this, and they disappear in a fairy dust, like this. Remember, the metal bar of the stair was melt, literally melt. 35 years later, when I start to shooting my documentary Starseed Revelation, I call a friend called Chris Essen. He is a scientist. And I say, I trust in you. I have something to ask you, very important. I give you the address of my parents' apartment in France. Could you go to this place? I give you instruction in a Zoom camera, in a Skype, okay? He go to this place and go live. I was in Montreal, Canada, and at the same moment, he was in the stairs in the 9th floor and explain everything he saw. I saw the impact. 36 years later, it was at the same place. The metal bar was melt. He analyzed this and tell me the power used against this metal was equal to 21 kilowatts of power to melt this metal. It's impossible, So it was a huge evidence. Something happened real in this 3D, not in my mind or I remember something. No. It's real. When something happened to me, it's real with witnesses, with scientific proof, with evidence, with a lot of people who was around me. You can live something strange in your life once, 2, 3. But when you are surrounded by a lot of thousand, hundred, experience, you can stay alone. My parents was there. My best friend was there. When the men in black came to my job and threatened me, my best friend was there. And he testimony in my movie. He said, I remember I was close to John Charles. These guys know him and know his abilities. So it wasn't imagination or something else. No. I swear I was close to John Charles and this guy tell to John Charles, do you want to work for them?
Oh, wow. So did you ever get a close-up look at these men in black? Did they look human? Or were they like kind of weird looking?
They look human. The first time it was like human agent, but the second time it looked like, the face was very white. The hair was like, false hair, like, you know, uh,
Like
you
a
know,
wig?
exactly. And no brows.
No eyebrows.
Yeah, no eyebrows. And each time there was glasses, black glasses. Maybe it was to protect his eyes. Maybe I don't know, but it was characteristic. And they use Bentley or Jaguar with tint glasses. It looked like a movie, yeah. It's weird because when I was with my parents and when we were chased on the highway in Paris, and my dad drive very quickly. It was, you can't forget this. And my parents live together again at 82, and they remember like yesterday.
Wow. Yeah.
Mm.
So, I mean, this is all fascinating. And I think that, like Aaron said, it's so important that you have this stuff documented, the evidence. So many people share stories. Like you said, it was just a dream or a memory. But
Mhm.
when we have something tangible to grab onto, that's going to go a long way, especially moving forward when people want to see something. So I think that's all fascinating. But going back to your time in the French Air Force on that military base you were staying on, you mentioned seeing some stuff and you kind of briefly talked about it, but you didn't go into detail. What did you see on that base that gave you pause, that made you realize something else was going on?
Yeah, I see different things. The first thing was a big triangle UFO, like a football, soccer. It was very, and no sound, just fly like this. It was a huge, and it was in Easter holiday, because I remember me and the guys stay in the base on the base, because we don't have a good cleaning room, and the punition was you stay there, no permission. So me and the guys was stay in the room, and there is no flying helicopter, or it's a vacancy, nobody works at this moment in Easter for France. And this night we saw with the guys this big triangle, black triangle, flying over the base. And the next day we asked to superior, sorry, yesterday there was something strange, and no something strange. Nobody work. Excuse me, but no question. And I say, but it's not your business. I say, don't insist. If you insist, you go to the prison, okay? And every guys and me shot, So just was curious. And the other time, I saw with the guys something very strange. They bring look like human in a dead bag for dead people inside, the black bag with the
Right. Yeah.
okay,
A body bag. Yeah.
a body bag, yeah, 3 or 4 times. And I remember at this moment some guys disappear strangely, and oh no, they left or they abandoned the training, because I was in a commando parachutist and it was very very hard to training, okay? So maybe, but when I saw this with the guys, we shared this information, and we were afraid. And what is this? The guy, he's not alive, he's in a body bag. No explanation about that. And our superior tell, we don't have a secret weapon here. We are something beyond your imagination of human inside this base and of the subject. Okay. And I was going, oh, tell this. We have something beyond the human imagination. What do you mean by this? It's not a futuristic armament or a weapon. No, 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 no. Not weapon, but something beyond the human. So, when you tell this word precisely, beyond the human imagination, what do you think?
I think Stargate or Portal, but I mean, at that time, what year was this?
I can say my results.
No, that's fine. But I would imagine some sort of jump room technology, maybe.
Oh yeah. In a Stargate, like Andrew Basiago tell, they use special child because the adult can resist to the travel time. And I was a special because first of all, when I was young and I bleed in my nose, it wasn't red, it was green, bright green, and it was a lot of dust and spot over my pillow, and my mother cleaning my I'm a kid, so she cleaned my bed, and it was very problematic because you can say to a doctor, my son bleed, okay, it's okay, but it's green, they take me, and I disappear. So it was secret, maybe it was a solution intravenous in my arm because I was in a space or something else, and my blood changed the color. I don't know, but I remember this. So I was very special. And Andrew Basiago say the child was used because only child can travel without a problem of health.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
This is what
yeah,
okay.
You said that.
Yeah. So you think something like that was going on at the base you were stationed at?
Yeah, I remember when I was in a base, they test you with your blood, your toll, and I was in in a medical center, and I was afraid they discovered my blood was different, so they put my blood in a bottle and take in a little drawers, and I go secretly inside and destroy the bottle in the toilet. And when I open the garbage, all the cotton inside was green. And I say, oh my God. And after that, they don't tell me, we want again, stop. Maybe I was protected at this moment, my friend. I don't know, but I was very lucky. And during this training, it was a training for commandos. So it was a training, usually training, not a special training. But during this training, I was a big injury in my shoulder, and I was hospitalized in a French hospital, military. And when I arrived in this hospital, we have some advice. Don't spoke with these guys in this department because it's this psychiatric department and this guy is crazy. Don't talk to him. And I say, okay, I want to talk to him
Right.
because I want to know what they say. And they explain something weird. Each night they saw military put military guys on the stretcher and go down to the basement, and in the basement the elevator open and someone receive the guy on the stretcher, but it wasn't a human, it was a tall reptilian beings in the basement of the hospital. And I say, okay, I want to check myself, so I go, and I was in the front of guard, and the guys, what do you do here? And I say, oh, sorry, it's a wrong floor. I'm lying. So I go to my room. The next day, I go down again because I want to know. And I see the same thing. Stretcher, the guy, the elevator. But this time, he wasn't a tall reptilian. It was a tall gray.
Wow.
And when I go to my room, I cross the doctor and I say, sorry, I have a question. Yeah. Where are the guys of the psychiatric? Why you ask me? Because I don't see today and I want to know, it's not your business. And I say, but no, it's just a question. No, it's not your business. Do you understand me? It's not your business. If you continue, I write a report and go to this medical center because you are treatment for your shoulder. And I say, okay, no problem. And the guy disappeared. I never saw these guys again after. I go to my treatment and they use a new medical treatment with a new device called Excalibur. It was a treatment with infrared to reduce my painful and accelerate my healing of my muscle. And he forgets me into the device and burned me to the second degree. My skin was burned and it was painful. So they use a morphine for the pain. And in the night, they came to my room. I was dizzy because it was a lot of medicine inside, you know. And they go down in the basement with me. I was on a stretcher and I felt a tingling, a sting in my neck. And like, powerful. And I was, oh, no pain. It was very strange, you know. And I was down of the stretcher and there is a little table and a woman said to me, put your hand on this little box. I take my hand, it was like a neon, like a photocopy, and she tell me, it's your DNA signature. And she tell me, go to this light. She have a portal, you know, a portal. Mm-hmm. I go inside and something happened inside these portals because now I feel, now it's me, I was intercepted by another thing during my travel through the time, through the portals, you know, maybe something can take this frequency and because it was a good person, bring me into another room and I was in a secret space program to begin my training. When I was young, at 13, it began my training when I was a child. After that, I grew. And after that, I was, the final mission was adult age when I was in a secret space program adult. You know, it was in 2 parts.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's incredible. And you might have already said this and maybe you didn't, but what military base was this? Or do you not want to disclose that?
No, I can't, my friend. Okay. I never can tell this. I say it's for my safety, for me, for my family. And each time I can say.
Okay. No, I respect that.
It makes sense.
So in your documentary, you mentioned parallel universes. Yeah. And planets having the same name in parallel universes, but looking different. And I find this in particular, this is a very fascinating topic to me, just because I truly believe in this. And I know there's a reality to this. And I think even aspects of the secret space program take place in parallel universes or other dimensions, other timelines. Maybe you can explain how you discovered this information and what you know about it.
You know, the interesting thing with my documentary is not to explain I am the first to spoke. It's a key. It's a trigger for a lot of person. They believe I'm crazy or blah, blah, blah. I explain inside the reincarnation of a star seed in a body here. Some people say, okay, the reincarnation is only I was in Earth at the Viking, at the, Atlantis and blah, blah, blah. No, you can have a reincarnation, but not on Earth, in other world, in a parallel world, and a lot of things. And this is important because my documentary, not explain just for me, but explain a lot of things about some people, other people. And I think there is a lot of parallel worlds. And you know, the CERN in Switzerland,
Yeah.
they play to God, okay? They play too much. So they open different reality. And I be careful what I say because of strike, you know? So you understand what I mean? During these 3 years of darkness,
Yeah.
the CERN use the powerful collider hadron and they change reality. Some people say the end of the world arrived at many times, but it never changed each time because they change the reality. And you know, when you have a déjà vu, when you are sure you, Aaron, or my friend Tyler, you live this, but you remember the same thing, like a Mandela effect.
Mm-hmm.
You're not crazy because you can swear you live this and you remember this, but something changed because it's like a layer in a time parallel. There is a different Tyler, different Aaron, like a multiverse. Why Hollywood made a lot of movie about multiverse?
Yeah.
It's everywhere. One, okay, but it's now 12 or 13 movie in 3 years. Marvel, multiverse, blah, 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 because they disclosure softly what's happened in reality. And there is a different Earth, different Antares, like I say, different Mars. And when people say, oh, I remember I was to Antares, and someone say, no, you lie, Antares is not. No, he don't lie. Because maybe in his Antares is different.
Yeah.
So I don't say every people say the truth. I just say if people say something, are very sure of they say, and you say, no, it's not my information, ask a question. And if it's yes, but it was in a different timeline.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And when you open your mind with this solution, my friend, you understand a lot of things happen in your life. How it's possible to have a same memories, 1,000 people of a movie, of something else, and you are a fan of the movie, you saw this movie 20 times, and I'll say, no, it's not a new version, it's never happened. And you say, you're kidding me, like a village people.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend, a gay friend. Her spectacle in a nightclub was village people. They want these gears like this, and there was a suit. And I don't remember, maybe there are 5 suits, okay? The Indian, the police officer, and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And the guy open the box, and there is 5. And he say, never 6 man, never. So it's a proof something changed because the guy, it's evidence. They play a spectacle. They play this role in a show.
Right.
So, and no. There is a black guys in the army, and who is this guys? And he takes the record, the disc, the in the navy, and he showed, and the guy is inside everything. There are guys, painter, the Statue of Liberty, to the point where is the Statue of Liberty? You know, the place where she was.
Different
And
Ellis Island and Liberty. Yeah.
And the guy say he draw, he paint in another place, in a big garden in another place, and he say, no, it was there. No, it was there. He's already there. Is and in a Google Earth, we discover something hidden at the place where the statue will be, maybe at this place, but it was removed. Removed for what? sometimes I think someone play with a timeline, my friend.
Yes.
I 100% sure. I was witness about a thing. I know someone have an accident when he drink a bottle and the capsule, plastic capsule was blocked into his neck, and he go to hospital and with a device they remove this. Okay, and it was my the father of my ex-wife. We remember this story. And one day we say, oh, you remember when you have the problem? And they say, what? I never live this. And I say, no, 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 Dad, you remember that because you are in a surgery. They remove the plastic. You know, my friend, I swear, he never lives this. And his wife too. But I have a witness, his daughter, my father, my mom remember in detail what's happened to this person, and
Right.
it's not a problem of memory. It's no, he was very angry. Oh, no, 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 I don't leave this, stop this, don't do that. And I say, okay, I leave something like this. And someone saw me in Champs-Élysées in France. And the moment he hugged me, and I wasn't there. He described my car, he described my wife, he described me when I was dressed. But at this moment, I was in a family diner with my grandparents, and it wasn't me, but it was me.
Right. Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think either people are playing with the timelines intentionally, or I don't think they even understand the effects on the timeline that their experimentations have, because CERN might just be one hydrogen collider, right, that they're using, but there's probably multiple around the world, which I believe there are, and also jump rooms, and just when they're in the early days when they're experimenting with the technology, they're creating tears in space-time. And I think that the timeline is being changed all the time, and because so many people are playing with this technology, not having any understanding of how they're affecting the timeline. And Aaron, were you going to add something to that?
Yeah, I think the answer, like almost always, is all of the above. There's a lot going on right now, and I think you're absolutely right. I think there are people messing with the timeline. I think CERN's a part of it, probably. I think uh, Tyler, what you said, which is disclosed in the Sands of Time books by Sean David Morton, where and other places where they're going back in time and messing with things and tearing holes in the space-time continuum, doing all kinds of stuff. That's messing with the timeline. But I also think there's an organic merging of timelines happening right now because we're at the end of a cycle, and this the raising of frequency of the solar system is happening right now, the ascension, whatever you want to call it. I think that's having an effect on the timeline, and that's kind of like merging timelines along with all this other stuff. I think it's all going on, and that's why I think the Mandela effect is so crazy right now, because it's like in the last like 15 years, because before that, the Mandela effect has been around a lot longer than that. And there's people that report even going back to like the 70s experiencing Mandela effects, but nowhere near to the level in the last 15 years. And I think that's because everything's kind of ramping up in that time, especially like in the last 5 years or so. So
Right.
and I know I've had my own personal Mandela effects. I know, Tyler, you've had yours. I know other people that have had personal ones. Tyler and I have a mutual friend actually who, I hope she's okay with me saying this, but
James Bond, the movie James Bond with the Moonraker, with the ring into the teeth of
yeah,
the blonde girl. I remember it was one my best movie when I was young, and I remember she has this, and now she never had
yeah,
this device, so it's
yeah.
crazy.
Oh yeah,
Right.
there's so many, and I keep discovering new ones all the time, and I'm like,
So,
what? But what I was gonna say is we have a friend that who claims she experienced the same year. She claims she already experienced this year up to July, and then her consciousness went back a year, 2023, and now she's like reliving the whole last year again,
Right.
which is insane. I think.
Yeah, the important thing
adamant.
is the time is different in space. You can disappear in Earth's time really 1 hour here. So you when I disappear in front of my parents, they spend 1 hour to search me. But in space, it can equal to 10 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And people don't understand, well, he disappeared 10 years and the parents are not afraid. No, 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 no. For my parents, it's really 1 hour, really 1 hour. But
Up there.
it's not the same time.
Right.
So I think the important message here is that there's multiple timelines going on, and a lot of these secret space programs can happen on different timelines. And when people share their testimony, they might be talking about Mars from the third dimension. Somebody else might be talking about Mars from the fifth dimension or whatever. And both could be true. And, they're obviously, like you said, that doesn't mean that everybody's telling the truth, but we have to start asking these questions and understanding that it's far more complex than we can even comprehend at this point. So,
right.
Is there anything else that you would like to share as far as that goes? And I know we're running out of time, but I have a couple other questions if
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
you have time.
Eh.
So the gamma ray burst whenever you were born, you talked about having your mom, I guess, giving birth to you on another planet, right? It was,
yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. Thank you for the link. Yeah.
Yeah. So can you explain that? Because I find that very interesting. And I know it's confusing, but at the same time, it makes sense to me.
Yes. When I was before I came to Earth in the body of Luca, he was the green skin with red eyes. I was a part of Antarian and Ultimian beings. My mom was Ultimian and my dad was Antarian. They have a baby, me, but to the pregnancy, it's only 3 months. And when the day come, the day important for the birth come, there is a lightning like a fairy tale in over the belly of the mother. And my mother, when I was Luca in my past life, extraterrestrial, was in a crystal cavern on Antares, because in Antares there is a lot of crystal outside, and she was there at this moment. And when the fairy light appear over the belly, there is a gamma burst, a supernova explode, and the cavern was swim by a light, and she was surrounded by light and the belly by the light. At this moment, I was created. So in my DNA, I was transpersed by this bright and strong energy. After that, when the baby came, is take in I don't remember the name in English, like a egg,
like an incubator.
Incubator. Okay, and it spent a few days, and you grow, and after that, you get out. For me, I had at this moment a particularity because I was inside my body the power of the supernova. This is the reason why they call me Super Starseed. Because during these processes, when a star die and explode, something happen inside the universe, and when something die, something rise. And I was in the middle of these processes. And I had a telepathic and telekinetic abilities, but I had something else very strange. I was able to teleport myself physically without device and travel through the timeline. in different world.
So
I
you
was yes,
you were able to physically teleport without
yes,
a device. Okay.
physically without a device. And I jump into John Charles' body. This is what I had when I was young, the teleportation. I can explain in little word for people follow us now. When I was young, I was on a school during an exam, and I decide to go to the toilet, and I raise my hand. Nobody asked me, nobody answered me, sorry, and every people was frozen. I go to the toilet. I'm a kid, okay? We are in the 4th floor, no windows, just a door. I close the door in my back, and so my head turn. I feel tingling, and I lost consciousness 1 second. Very, 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 very quick. When I opened my eyes, I was in the dark. So I searched the button. I opened the button. I was in the toilet, but not the toilet of the school. I was in a few kilometers of the school. I was in the toilet of the apartment of my parents. Okay. And when my mom get out get into the apartment, I explained what's happened. And she was, she know that his son is special. So she take the phone and must lie to the director and say I was sick and blah, blah, blah. She invents something. But they call the guardian of the building, the locksmith. They open the door of the toilet. No John Charles inside. No issue. No get out possible. We are in the 4th floor. All my stuff was stay on my desk. My coat, my ID, my keys, everything. I live in Paris in a building in the 9th floor. So was really teleportation. And the characteristic of my energy was the same as Luca. And during my birth in Earth, I was the same thing, gamma burst again. Everything is linked. This is the explanation why I have this, because I had this baggage abilities before, and I keep this inside of me.
Right.
In real 3D, real. It's not like people say, it's not astral travel. It's not a decorporation. It's real. Because when I was young and I dream, I was in the Bahamas. When I wake up and I was 6 or 7, I was in my pajamas and I was tan on my face and I was white sand in the bottom of my bed and white sand between my toes, and my parents' testimony of that. So it's not a dream, because I bring something. In your dream, you can bring something. You have a lot of memories, and wow, you feel, it's like a real, but it's really accurate because I bring something. So nobody can explain this. And during my brainwave test with the device of my friend Dan Winter, he discovered when I'm concentrate about the same state I was when I was young and I teleport myself, my brainwave exploded on the screen and he get out of the charts. And he never seen that before in his life in 51 years of research of the gamma brainwave humans.
Wow.
So again, a proof, again, scientific proof, gamma brainwave, again, gamma brainwave.
Wow.
That's wild. And did you lose this ability as an adult? Was it only happening while you were a child?
The ability of what? Of teleportation?
Teleport, yeah.
No, it's different now. I can stay like this and project myself. I don't know what's happening at this moment because I'm staying here, but people saw me on other place and remember me.
People report seeing you.
Yeah. They saw me and they tell me something, and I can bring something. When I was under the Sphinx when I was young. And I discovered some gallery and a spaceship under the Sphinx.
Mhm.
I write this, I was 7 or 8 in my little journal. And there is 1 year or 2 years, they discovered something very special, gallery, secret, under the Sphinx. So I was really here. You know, when I wake up with the sand, or I wake up with my pants was wet, or, and the best thing happened when my dad tell me, okay, son, if you can travel like this, maybe you can test something more for. And I say, what do you want to tell me? And he say, another world, another planet. You know, I'm a kid. When you are a kid, my friend, everything is possible, okay? This is
Yeah.
important. If you keep your soul kid, you can do everything. And I say, okay. And I wake up in a planet named Antares with a lot of beings, with crystal. And I was, oh my God. And the particularity, my friend, it's weird because I was dressed like I sleep. My pajamas, my T-shirt with a Spider-Man or what. And I say, it's curious. I'm in my dream and I really realize I dream. So do I dream? And I wake up. I explain this to my parents. I was in a river with a crystal inside, and I say, oh, next time I can bring something like the sand between my toes. And I dream with my little backpack with a bottle of plastic empty, and I say, if I wake up, I can feel it. And I wake up again with the same thing, with the pajamas, and on my shoulder, the bag. First of all, I open the bag, I take the bottle, and I feel the red water with the grain of crystal. I close the bottle, and I continue my journey. And I say hello to feline beings and a lot of beings, and I wake up. When I wake up, I say, wow, it was a vivid dream. No bag. I say, I dream. And when I get out to my bed, I saw my bag on the bottom. I take my bag, I shake my bag, and I heard flock, flock. And I say, no, no. I open the bag. Inside, there was a bottle with a red water and the crystal inside. And I say, okay, I succeed. I go to the kitchen and I say to my parents, tonight I was there. And my dad and mom say, yeah, son, okay. Okay. And I say, look, and I put the bottle on the table, and my dad and my mom was, I'm a kid. I live in the 9th floor. I wake up in the morning with the bag, with the bottle, and it's weird.
Mhm.
And my mom burned his hand in the 2nd degree in a Hoover because she made a cake, and instantly, I don't know why, by instinct, my dad take a bottle, a little piece of cotton, and take the water into the injury of my mom, and instantly she healed. No burn, no scare. Everything was removed.
From the water
Wow.
you brought back.
Exactly. After that, my dad decided to tape water. He killed the water. She turned black, but he decided to take a picture of crystal and keep this photograph in a secure place. And one night, the box with the crystal disappeared, but not the picture. And when my dad say, hey son, I found a photo of the device of the Men in Black and the crystal, I say, oh my God. And I say, okay, I put this new evidence in my documentary, STARSEED Revelation 2. So each thing I say, I have a proof. I have now my recording proof with my voice. And it's a huge evidence
Mhm.
of what I live is not in my head, now.
Right.
And I have a lot of witness. And this this is why I say I found the grail.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, just based on intuition, we wouldn't have you back on the show if we didn't feel you weren't telling the truth anyway. And it's just, I definitely believe that you're one of the legitimate ones sharing this information, and we appreciate that. And, I think the secret space program it's starting to become a little bit more mainstream. We're noticing the conversation is changing throughout the collective, right? And I think in maybe a year's time, less than a year, it's going to be more common. It's not, that's why we're doing what we're doing, because there's a lot of ridicule surrounding the subject these days because of certain individuals and things that have happened. But we're not going to let that destroy something that we know is true. And we're just doing our due diligence to keep this information going and interviewing the legitimate people and having these conversations, and it'll have a ripple effect. And you're playing a huge part as far as that goes, and we thank you for that. So
thank you to you to receive me again, my friend. I love you. You are very important for the disclosure, because your show is unbelievable. You receive a lot of people, very interesting each, and you do a good job, my friends. Very good job.
Thank you.
It's important to me to say the truth, because the truth, and you there's a lot of people are very bad or take a good thing or bad thing. It's not normal. We work on the same path, the path of the truth. And I don't know, there is a division between each people say this is, we don't have the truth. We don't have each a piece of truth, each people, and together gathering a Pictionary of what's maybe, but share, and you do a good job for that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
And can you please let our audience know where they can find you and how they can watch your documentaries and all that stuff?
Yeah, in my website, www.gcmoyen.com/en, like English, for the English version. Each movie is dubbing in English. And for my last movie, Secret Records, the part is in English dubbing, but the part of the footage French audio recording is in French to keep the authenticity, but it's subtitled in English, in French, in Brazilian, Portuguese, and Italian and Spanish. So you can understand everything I say.
Yeah. And for anyone listening, if you want to listen to these audio recordings, they are in this documentary, The Secret Records. And I think the second half of the film is where you just play the audio. So if anyone's interested, go check that out. I highly recommend it. And thank you again for joining us. This has been great. And Aaron, do you have any last words before we wrap this up, Aaron?
No, thank you so much. You're doing amazing work, and thank you for speaking your story and your evidence and all of it. You're a huge help to the movement and to the awakening. So thank you so much, and thanks for joining us again. It's so good to have you on again.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And very important, the love is the keys. And if you have a children with the abilities, please listen, and don't go to an institute of psychiatric or nothing else, because the future is the children.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, absolutely. Honor what the children are saying and believe them,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess kids could make stuff up, but I mean, honestly, most of the time they're sharing what they're experiencing, and love is the key. I agree with that 100%. And that is the way forward. So thanks again. And for anyone who wants to hear more from John Charles, we had him on episode 185. So you can go check that out, where he tells his full story. So this has been great. Thank you so much. And until next time, everybody, have a great evening. We love you. Good night.
Thank you.
What happens when water is exposed to EMF, or wireless radiation? Here's something you may not know. Water is conscious, and it responds vibrationally to whatever it is exposed to. At Omnia, we've done an experiment where we froze and photographed 3 samples of water. Water which was not exposed to EMF radiation, the baseline, looked like this. Water which was exposed to an EMF field, a 5G radiation field in fact, looked like this. And water which was exposed to EMF that is balanced by the Omnia radiation balancer looked like this. See the difference? Remember, your body is 70% water. And here's a special offer for the Journey to Truth crowd. Just enter the word TRUTH in caps at the checkout for your 10% discount.